Welcome to Miss Meta's classroom. In this video, I'm going to share with you about the concept of operations on integers. So we will have our math notebooks ready and we will write down the topic, operations with integers. Students, remember in the last video, we talked about an introduction to integers as to what integers are basically. In this video, we are going to look at the four main operations: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Um, and we'll begin with our very first one, that is adding integers. So let's have our notes ready first so that once you know the steps to follow, how to add them. These are little tricks that I have learned, or stolen from other teachers, and they work very, very well when I'm teaching the classroom lessons. So, for example, you have to add two integers, plus 3 and negative 4. These are the two integers given to you, and you have to add them together. And I'm going to teach this concept to you using a math manipulative or some little colored tiles also, so that it makes more sense to you. And on the other hand, I'll give you some written notes about what steps to follow. So always remember, when the numbers have same signs, numbers have same sign, always add. These tricks are going to go a long way in making you get correct answers on the test. Always remember, I'm repeating myself, numbers are same, always add. So you just blindly add if they have the same sign. And then you keep the sign. Whichever sign they have, you keep that sign. Now, the other rule that you need to remember is when numbers are different, that means when the numbers are different signs, then you always subtract. So let us study again. Same signs, always add. Different signs, always subtract. And then when you're using the green one, let us say the signs are different, you keep the sign of the bigger number. So you keep the sign of the grande number or bigger number. So these are the main two rules that we will use when we are adding integers. There's not a lot of things you have to worry about. Once you have learned these two rules, everything should work fine for you. So then let us do some examples using the rules. So we'll use the same example we began with, plus 3 and minus 4. So let us say you have a question that you have to combine these two integers, plus 3. So the question could be, what is plus 3 plus negative 4? So when the middle sign is plus, that means you're adding them. So let us go by our rule. What was our rule? Are the signs same or are the signs different? Here I can see that 3 has a plus sign before it and 4 has a negative sign before it. So that means the signs are different. So I'm going to use the rule that I had for green. So when signs are different, I always subtract. I'm going to subtract 4 and 3. By subtracting 4 and 3, what do I get? I get 1. Now, my rule also says keep the sign of the bigger number. There's a way to remember this, like who's your older authority at home? You listen to them, right? So, your authority here at this home is going to be 4, because if I don't look at the sign, actually 4 is bigger. You know what I mean? So, 3 is smaller than 4. So I'm going to keep the sign. So 4 says, well, I'm the dad here. My rule is going to be the rule at home. So this negative sign is going to go as the sign in the answer, if that makes some sense to you. So remember, we used one example with the green one. Now let us do another example where we may have different types of numbers, and we'll see what rule we will use there. So we have a negative 11, and our teacher is telling us to add it to negative 6. Now, this time again, students have to carefully see, look at my numbers. My numbers are negative 11. So the sign before 11 is negative. The sign before 6 is also negative. So negative 11 plus negative 6, which rule am I going to use here? I'll let you think. So here the rule I'm using is the same signs, add the numbers. You just blindly add them anytime their signs are same. So 11 and 6 are belonging to the same negative family. Remember left side of the number line, so you add the numbers. So that means let us add 11 and 6 together. After adding 11 and 6 together, I get 17. Well, is that my answer? I say no. Why not? Because I have to keep the sign of the negative number also in the answer. So that's going to be my answer for this example number 2 here. Another example could be when both the signs are positive. We looked at an example when both the signs were negative. Now we can look at an example where both the signs are positive. So let us say we are looking at plus 28, and our teacher is telling us to add plus 2 to it. Now, well, you can say, Miss Mehta, this is a pretty simple and easy question. I've done this in previous years. Plus 28 plus 2 is plus 30. And that's true. You're correct. It is going to be plus 30. And see, both the signs were same. So my answer sign is also going to be the same sign as the question. And yes, I add. So again, as a review, let us look at the review here. What were the two main rules? The two main rules were numbers are same sign, you add, you keep the sign. Rule number two, numbers are different signs, you always subtract. Let us say one sign is plus, other is minus. You always go ahead and subtract both the numbers. You keep the sign of the dad here because dad is the one who's you got to listen to, right? So that's about it about adding integers. Now, I also wanted to share with you about the colored counters. If, let us say, you don't remember these rules, it comes the test day and you're like, oh, I have to take a test on adding integers, but I don't remember the rules anymore. So, if that happens, students, you can always use colored counters. It's plus 3. So, we are going to use blue counters for plus 3. So, I have 3 blue counters here. And the other number is negative 4. So I'm going to use the red counter here for negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, students, always remember one easy trick here that one negative and one positive make a zero. See, for example, you have $1 in your bank and you take away that $1 from your bank, you have actually nothing left in your bank anymore. So that goes away, right? Another dollar in a bank, you take away that dollar from the bank, nothing left in the bank. Another dollar in the bank, take away the dollar in from the bank, nothing left in the bank. Now, what is my answer is however, whatever counters is left is going to be my answer. And you see it's red in color, so it's going to be negative, and it's just one counter left, so my answer is negative 1, and that is what we got earlier also. I hope I'm making sense of what I'm sharing with you here.